Right guys, hello, welcome back to Skylines. We're back here on Whitford Peak and we're continuing on with the airport build. So last time I had a lot of indecision about what we were going to do. By the way, Golden Hills is looking very good. Remember Golden Hills had a massive ton of fire a little while back and all of the mining operation here got absolutely destroyed. But you can see things are looking up a little bit. And we've got some like extra little mine sites which we haven't done anything to yet. I was always very happy with the mining site there, though, by the way. And then we've got the farm stuff down here as well, so I kind of feel like this needs more trees or specifically kind of hedgerows. Remember last time we were working on Nyko Farms, and I started to bring in some little elements here, look like the, see like this right here? So we just brought in some like little bit of decor and bushes. And I keep saying we're going to do like an episode which is pure beautification and stuff just to get. We even got the new cattle grids down here as well, look. For this area, so that was quite good. And we generally just added in some sort of like, bush hedgerows and trees and stuff like this around here, and I think that kind of looks really, really good. We did, what else did we do? I think we also did here, like at some of the ends of these roads here, look, we kind of got like a load more sort of trees and bushes in, and it just makes the kind of farm environment look a lot more kind of like actively worked and lived in and so on. That was quite good. We also been working on this highway to come up to the airport, and that was a nightmare. Not going to be honest, it took a long time. It was a pain in the ass. I'm still not 100% happy. I'm not super happy about that kink in the road, but, it's not the end of the... Oh, it's so triggering. It's not the end of the world, and I don't want to touch it like I do, but I don't. It's just like, it's so agonizing. One thing I do want to do, though, is I want to just tweak some of these here. You can see, look, as the highway comes up over the road, see this undulation? Not too happy with that. So if I can kind of drop and raise some of this a little bit, just gently to sort of try and have a little bit of help there. Sometimes as well, as you know, we can kind of, there you go, we can get a little adjustment out of it with moving the roads around. There's still the same goes for here. I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything with this bit. If we can bring this up a little bit, maybe. Actually works not too bad. There's a lot of stuff on this road here which is not 100%, but again, if we can get it pretty close to being good enough. I think it actually is. I think there was just that little bit there that I was not quite okay with. The rest of it I think is fine. Also, actually, this is going to be a pain now. I'd quite like for this highway, basically, once you get onto this section here, to not have lighting. Because I talked about this before, I'm not always a big fan that the highway stuff has lighting all the way. I'm fine with it being on the overpass here, but I think basically up to this point, and then we can have a bit where the airport is, but then beyond that, I'd rather there wasn't any lighting at all. So it would be good if we could change that up. Right, so that's one thing that we need to do. Now, the other thing we need to do, of course, is make this interchange happen and all this kind of stuff. We've also got more housing, we've got more industry, we've got more commercial to work on. Now, we were sort of talking about like what was going to happen here last time, and I think really what we need is just the main thing is, because we've got a two-way road going around the airport here, how to actually connect that up. And it would be better if this airport was just a one-way road system on here. I honestly don't know why it's two-way, but it's one-way. So I wish it'd be so much better if it's one-way. I don't honestly know why it's two-way, but it's two-way. So we have to connect to it with two-way road. And what I'm going to do then is we're just going to have to... We've got a one-way road system, actually. That reminds me as well. I need to make sure... Yeah, so we should be coming in and going to the right. Yeah. So if we're coming off of here... Yeah, I thought so. And this needs to be the other way around. Okay. Right, so what I will see if we can do, and we're just going to have to see how much traffic comes in here. I don't remember. I do remember we had various issues last time with the airport itself. The issue that we'll have is by connecting a two-way road up to this, it's going to sort of create its own problems, but I think we'll just have to play it by ear and hope that it's not a problem. which it, of course, will be. But we shall see what occurs. This is going to be its own problem as well. I suppose we could almost create like a one-way system though. If you have Costello subbed, thank you very much, Nick Costello. Welcome on board, buddy. I suppose what we could do is we could create kind of our own one-way system though, because if we had this road, which is like just a two-way one-way, and then if we were to create more one-way system, because bear in mind this road, of course, is two-way, but that doesn't mean to say. Yeah, so what we could do here... Agent Hutch sub Twitch Prime 2 months in a row. Hutch, welcome back on board, buddy. Thank you very much for the support. Oh, that's monorail, isn't it? What we could do is we could take just the off-ramp here. We could take the highway ramp as like a one-way off look to connect to that. And then what we could do is have it here as well, but coming out. Let's think about this for a minute. Come out. Connect back up. I'm actually going to have this go... This is going to shock you, I know. I'm going to have this go underground. I know. But stay with me. It's going to be alright, guys. We'll have this guy go underground. Loop back around. If you're new to my streams, this is a common occurrence. Okay, and then we'll have this guy come back out and basically connect like so. Okay, easy. So that way, now I'm going to have to tidy this one up if I want this to work a bit better as well. Okay, this is going to be fine. Now, whilst this is a two-way road, providing the traffic doesn't do anything incredibly stupid, we should be alright with this. Okay, so that's the idea, is that they'll sort of come in off of the highway, get onto this roundabout, then they'll go around, come off, do whatever they've got to do, and go back the other way. It should work because we've only got a one-way system connected to either side of it, so... Grumpy Cat for 4 months in a row. Thank you very much, Grumpy Cat. Welcome back on board, my friend. Good to see you again. I see that we're back with roundabouts. What do you want? I'm making the roads. Right, let's do it. So now we have to have our way of connecting to the roundabout. And again, because we already have like a one-way highway system. Oh man, should I go like ultra complicated here? I'm just thinking like my evil smile should probably tell you. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I've had an idea. It won't be what LB wants. Okay. I'm gonna do a double roundabout. So let's have another smaller roundabout. Everyone's like, no, LT, no. What could go wrong? Ah, shut up. It's all what you wanted. Exactly. There are many places in the UK which have double roundabouts. You love it. Double underground roundabout. Look, all you guys who complain about the double roundabout, it worked absolutely fine. There was nothing wrong with my giant underground roundabout, even if it took me like 20 episodes to get it working properly. But it worked nonetheless. I think this roundabout's too big. Too big. Too big. Make it a little bit smaller. Perfecto. Ah, and it's almost a circle. Okay, beautiful. Notice why not make a backwards roundabout? No, make the Olympic symbol. Okay, now, there is a theory to this, okay? There is actually a cause and effect. So we shall have now a 2-lane which connects like so. Okay, simple. And then another one which comes off here like this. Now I'm feeling like this is going to require a little bit of tweaking later. That's alright, that's fine. Can work that out. Right, how are we doing? We're doing fine. We shall just bring this one in line right here. There we go. Okay, elegant. Elegant solution. Jesus Christ, Castella. Castella has just DDoSed the stream chat with a link longer than pi. Horror. How many times, guys? How many times do I have to say? Don't copy. Don't go into Google Images, do the search thing, and then copy from there. You have to click View Image and then copy the URL. If you just copy it, out of the search from Google Images, it will copy the whole code for the thing as well. You have to copy the URL from the actual image itself. That's a real roundabout, as I recall. Yeah, the magic roundabout. God, it's a nightmare, that thing there. Right, anyway, so where do we go from here? So now we've got this. Now we have to come up with a easy, sensible connection to the highway, which will be enjoyable. So all we need, though, I think what I will actually create, though, is just we will create. Let's think. What I will do is right here we'll create a switchback. Okay, so we're just going to create a little switchback right here to allow traffic to easily... Oh, and here's another thing I should do. Actually, no, it's okay. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to create like these little switchbacks either side here so that basically people can easily get off of the highway and get back to where they need to go to. There we go. This basically will just allow the traffic to easily change direction. Okay, there we go. So that either end of this connection will make it simpler for the traffic to kind of switch direction should they need to, or if they get on one way, they can swap it off another. It just means that, again, I have to make sure to connect in the right places here. So what I'm going to do is we need really... I'm trying to just think whether I want one main incoming junction off of this, and I think I probably do. If I was to, let's think, if I was to make a 6-lane road here, there'll be like a major junction coming in. Trouble is, like, I could do with this not being like at this angle, I could do with it sort of a different way, but I just have to play it by ear. See, now I'm not so happy with how that looks with its verges and stuff. What we'll do is we'll do a... We'll do a 3-lane for both, so outgoing and incoming. Hopefully this will work. We'll do one that's kind of coming off of here like this. I don't really know how this is going to work, I'm sort of just playing it by ear. Right, so bring those points together. I'm just trying to kind of distill the traffic in is really what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to distill it in so that it kind of runs smoothly. However, whenever I try to make things run smoothly, they never run smoothly, so we will discover what happens with this. It'll be fine. Okay, so now that we've got that in place, let's think about this. So let's start by running our main off-ramp here. So we'll have coming off and just easily connecting there. I mean, honestly, if it's going to be a big connection, we could probably even do this with like a 3-lane connection like that even. If this is meant to be like a big hub, there's a lot of traffic coming on, I think there's no reason why we couldn't do that actually. Yeah, and then similarly we could, yeah, actually this might actually work the best. Yeah, this could actually work, yeah, this could actually work better. Let's just take this out. And we'll just have one which kind of comes like this. And then we'll just have this basically come up. I don't know how high we need to be to... Yeah, I think that seems about right. We'll just have this come over like so. So what we need to do is kind of like a... cut across. I think actually, let's have a look. I think we can do this a little better. Because if we can, it would be good to get it going so that it connects onto both ways, so... Let's bring this up to like here. Then coming across here. Then what we'll do is we'll split it. At this point. So it goes this way. And simultaneously this way. And this can just simply overlap. I really want this to... See, what I could do with though is this... I could do with this coming around a little bit sooner. This side doesn't matter so much because I want to get that down. I want to get this side down before that other connection. But that could be a little might not work anyway. This ended up not being the smoothest of curves, to be honest. I don't think we're going to have this. That's really what I want to do, is kind of like that. But not entirely sure whether that's going to look right or work right. What's this? Don't need to ramp with the other exit from the airport. Connect it near the roundabout. What? Oh my god. Rubik's Cube. Still haven't done that. Still haven't Rubik's Cubed. Starting to look quite promising. No, I'm not sure. I mean, the plan... Yeah, I just don't like how it looks right now. That's the problem. I think I could get this looking a lot better. I know what I want it to do. I'm just trying to figure out how I can do it and make it not look absolutely terrible at the same time. I think probably that shouldn't go over there at all like that. I think it should probably split like here or something. Like this, and then... I think also this should be kind of longer really if I wanted to bring it down as it is, and I think it would just end up missing that connection point. The only way I'm going to make that happen is... The only way that's going to happen is if I do this more like over this way. I need some more space, that's the issue. This needs to kind of come across here. And then like this. But you see then, I'm in the issue, I'm going to mess this one up, so it can't be that long either. Got to be kind of in the middle. See, it's kind of like that, but obviously we don't want it to be like that. Also, I don't want to use move it too much because we always know what happens if we use move it too much. But essentially, this is what I want to happen. Problem is if you bring in a connection like this that's too close to another connection, that will create a ton of problems on its own. I think what I might be better to do is actually to just remove this and move it further down the road. So I think that might actually be a better thing to do. Oh, we've had this issue before. What do I need to do here? I've forgotten. That's it. Click that. Right. Yeah, I'll move that further down because then it's not an issue anymore and I don't have to worry about it. And it doesn't make any... There's plenty of space for it, so it doesn't matter. Right, and then I don't have to deal with this being a horrific nightmare either. So what this should do is... This should now come down here nicely. Probably go back and do that a bit better now. Let's bring this across. And then bring it down. Right, and then have that connect. Always the joy of this bloody thing. There we go. I really wish that would work right, that when you connect two roads, they sort of properly, smoothly align into one another instead of the issue we always have. What's this? Have it concrete to the slow lane, the other one, and then overpass connect. Yeah, well, that's the plan. Yeah. Yeah, because the slow lane is on the right-hand side, so most of the traffic should come in on the right-hand side. This is going to have to move so that it's very annoying though. I swear we could get this done better, guys. Like this should, I want this to connect more like that. There. Yeah, that's better. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was. And then if we can just align these roads a little bit better. Then what we'll do is we'll just drop this down a bit. Like that, so it looks a bit more like a proper highway drop-off. That's better. I see we're having the classic pillar issue yet again. If you're not aware with that, it's just an issue with when the base game, like, because I've got Anarchy on and stuff, when the base game determines whether a pillar should be there or not, it will basically just take it out. So I've got to move it and then move it back in order to kind of smooth that and get it in there. Right, now the other issue I have is this little bit right here, and the classic looking wrong, because this connects way too sharply. It goes up too fast. So similarly on this end, we're going to have to raise this up just like this, and then we run into the classic problems that we always have of the stupid roads. There's too many nodes here as well. This is another pain in the ass. Okay, that's not too bad. Bear in mind, we've still got to connect. We've still got to connect the other road to this as well, so there's still a bit more tweaking to do here. Right. Okay, that's not too bad. Too bad. Right, we've still got to connect the next road as well, though, and that's going to be slightly more problematic. What I'll try to do is, I think, do it from here, like I said. So, yeah, that's actually not too bad. It's always a trick trying to do that without it affecting everything else too badly. So we'll have this swing around like this. And then we want to basically come down on it there. This could be a challenge, but we shall see. Right. I'll fix that in a minute with move it, but that's basically where I want to be at. Turn and snap off. So this is going to have to come down here between these two roads. See, again, this bloody interchange lane, this is going to be problematic. What? This is the ramp that makes no sense to me. What, you guys are saying that I should just kind of connect it on like that? Yeah, I suppose so. It's just because, so the reason why I connect it like that is, I know it makes no sense in real life, because in real life you're always going to connect onto the road in the slow lane. But the thing is that in the game, the issue you always have with traffic connecting is that the fast lane is always got less traffic in it, and you don't have accidents in the game. So unlike in real life where you have it in the slower lanes so that you kind of don't have terrible accidents, by bringing it into the fast lane, there's less traffic, and there's less traffic, and therefore what that means is you get a smoother connection of traffic coming in, because the traffic will just generally always be able to get in first time, and you don't have any stop-start. That's why you do that. Or that's why I do that anyway. Because if I can, I don't know if I've got a good example, but I generally will do that because it just works better most of the time. I don't know if I actually have an example somewhere on this play, because I haven't had cause to do it anywhere yet, I don't think. But anyway, I've done that before and it works really well. In fact, one time we had a huge issue. I don't know whether there's any in it here. Yeah, I don't think so either. But when I've done it on maps before, it works really well because, like I say, it just prevents that kind of overclogging by getting them into the fast lane first, essentially. Do I have a post somewhere? I only link it at the end of every single playthrough of this game on my Looting Gaming channel. But yes, I have extended playlists with all of the mods and all the assets, and they're all made into like custom lists. So all you got to do is sub that whole list, and they all work together and blah blah blah. So yeah, it's all working. It's all good. Okay, so let's look. So the thing that I want to do is I want all the traffic to get off on that one roundabout lane, really. But maybe we could do with just a off-ramp lane here or something, just to kind of make our lives easier. So just like have an extra lane here. Maybe we could even upgrade this bit right here. This might be where things get a little complicated. We make this section here 4-lane, just that section there, with the specific reasoning of having this road come off of it on the side of this other one. If you're with me. So it's like a kind of deliberately like a sort of a bleed lane. We need to just bring this around. I'm just trying to do this as smooth as possible, which is not going to be super easy. That's a hell of a turn right there. Let's just move this over a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be tricky. It's going to have to stay like that. Right, so we've got to get this, we've got to turn this around 90 degrees, really, or even, no, well, 90 degrees first, and then back down here. Right, and now it's going to have to connect, basically. Right, there we go. So that's connected, but it's not ideal because with that other connection that's very, very near to it, that's going to be slightly problematic, but it's not the end of the world. Just trying to get this to sort of work right is going to be the really tricky bit. Because this needs to be quite sort of a smooth connection. I don't know how smooth I'm going to get this with that turn. And if I could have this be like a longer run almost, like right down here, works a little better, but not much better. And then it's kind of intersecting this other road here as well, which is a problem. I just don't want it to have this nightmarish right turn there. Yeah, that's going to be quite an extreme right turn. Then you need a compass mode, so it's easier for us to help and make it less Rubik's Cube. Yeah, it would be. It would be. But you can always say, like, if you want to specifically aim me towards a certain thing, like, look, here's the airport, okay? So you've got Golden Valley, and you've got the Boomtown Valley side. So you can say Luton on the Boom side, or the, you know, whichever side. Or, you know, from the beginning of the playthrough, we just determine from the start which is north, west, east, you know. So you can just decide from the start. You say, okay, heading out to sea is north, and then that's pretty easy, you know. Then you just know that that's east, this way's south, that way's west, and that way you give yourself, once you know which direction you're headed in, then you kind of you have a vague idea of sort of, you know, compass. Right, I don't like this. I'm gonna try this the other way. Look, I'm gonna actually delete this corner here because it's become a bit of a state. I just want to try this like that. Require like a little bit of tweaking. And this bit here is totally screwed apparently. You know what we can do here, guys? And I don't know why this didn't occur to me before. I'll just set the speed limit really low. That's all. So this will be fine. What we'll do is we'll just... There you are. That's fine. All we'll do is we'll just have it like that. We'll just set the speed limit low so they have to go slow around that corner. It'll be simple. What I would like, though, I would quite like this if this was a little further down. So... Oh my god, look at the state of this, guys. You know what? I'm just going to delete that. And we'll connect it further down. Like that. I just want a little bit of space there, that's all. There we go. Right, also, yeah, I want to do this with these as well, if I can, sort of have this... I'm also going to get rid of this guy here. I just want to connect these a little bit better, guys. So, something similar to that, actually. Yeah. As you can see, guys, these are always quite finicky. So, it's quite tricky to get them sort of connected right so they don't kind of glitch out the graphics in a really bizarre way. So you have to be sort of a little bit patient with it. Right, so that should be quite straightforward now. We might just tidy things up a little bit, but I think we're pretty much there, unless anybody has any major criticism they want to make. Really what I want to do, before I spend loads of time decoring it up, it's once you put like a road system in, good to let it run a little bit, see whether it works before we start beautifying everything up and making everything all nice, you know. Need to get some water out there, so let's do that. We also need to get power out there, which I'm less sure how we're going to do that. I suppose it's the airport. It doesn't matter how much noise there is, so we could just get some... well, we could get some cell towers, look, because they also... cell towers are the kind of things you might have near sort of airport stuff anyway. They kind of create like a bit of... what I mean is, like, I'll put these sort of here and there, because they look quite kind of like the thing you have at airports anyway. And then that way... they actually kind of end up creating a bit of power. And then to connect those up, we can just put some of these little power boxes down. Little conduit power boxes. I always forget like these don't go as far as I think. They cost nothing to run, and they're a good way of connecting power up. Right, oh yeah, we also just need to remove that little line of the bridge. Right, and then, is there anything I haven't done here? Well, obviously the metro. But we can bring the metro in, so that can be on the to-do list. So theoretically, that's good. Now, the only thing we haven't done, of course, is parking. We need to get some car parks in there. I will do that, but again, I just want to sort of see how things go. We can obviously, there's plenty of space for car parking, so we can get some stuff in there. Facecam, yeah, hello. Every week I do it. Every week. Don't let it be a surprise. What's this? Continue as planned, but drop the lanes to 2 rather than 3. Well, which lanes? Specifically, which lanes? Also, I'm not gonna dictate any of the road layout yet. Oh crap! It just occurred to me as well that for the first time. Oh yeah, we also didn't do this. Ah, okay. So theoretically, there should be traffic actually coming in on this road now. Yep, here it comes. Exciting, guys. For the first time ever, we've opened up the highway. So for the first time, we'll have traffic coming down this highway route into the region, which means we're going to have a lot more traffic coming in here, which is obviously kind of scary. What's this? The northbound off-ramp. Oh, what, this one right here? No. I think it'd be fine to have 3. It'd be fine to have 3 because it means this connects up more smoothly. It's not so much about capacity as much as it is just kind of like how easily these things connect. Sorry, my nose is very itchy today, guys. Oh yeah, so before we do that though, we have to just figure out what to do here. So this is yet another road problem. This could be like one of these road solution episodes, I think. We have another issue, which is, so we've figured out, we just got all of this sorted the other day, right? And this is sort of working okay. Now there is a problem here, and I need to look at this problem. Okay, there's a problem here with some of this traffic stopping into each other. Now, before we do anything else, let's have a look at what the connections are. Okay, we don't have any connections set up. Now, I think all of this started, obviously, when this road gets connected in. The reason we have that road there is that road basically feeds from the farm agriculture industry back in that direction. Okay. Now, I can't connect it further down the line because this is not a highway, this is a road. And if I connect them, it will create like an intersection. I could tweak it so that that doesn't matter, but it's kind of like a pain in the ass, long-winded way around it. So, we have to... Well, for one, I don't like how this connects. For two, I think it's a problem that it connects this close. So, I think what I might do is just take this out. And take that out. And I think what we need to do is connect that, like, here, basically. I think we need to remove this and then bring this back in at this point here. And then we're going to have another problem, though, because this off-ramp has got to come down. That's got to go somewhere, too. Well, it's got to go that way, specifically. So I wonder if... Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is going to bump this up here to... two-lane highway road. I'm going to move this out. Actually, scratch that. Right, we'll just grab this right here. So my plan is going to be to take this road now. Just a little further around, but not much. And then we will basically bring this back up here. I might have left that a bit short. Yeah, we want to start coming back up. Oh, damn this thing. Right, there we go. So we want to come back up there, and then we want to sort of come out here. It's by no means an easy thing. See, this is going to be an issue as well, because we have this off-ramp here, this off-ramp, which basically that allows traffic coming this way to get into the farming stuff more quickly. Well, you know what? I'll just tell the lanes what to do so they can't do that. That's going to be the only way to get around that one. So let's have this come here and then like this. Right. Now stay with me. God, as if this hasn't been a pain in the ass enough already. Why? Why is it always so hard? Because I build these stupid things. Damn this road's brokenness. Let's start again. Right. Ugh, the pain of it all. We need to make some amendments here. I cannot move that, but I can move this a bit. Right. Oh, the pain. Road pain, guys. God, how long did we spend pissing about with this? This always happens, by the way. I'll spend like literally 4 hours like setting something up, and then we'll come back like the next episode and be like, right, that's it, scrap it, we have to start again. Every bloody time. Right, there, okay. Easy, easy like a Sunday morning. Except it's not, of course. Well, let's look here. This will be a nightmare. Okay, it could definitely be worse, but we'll see how this goes. That's my stupid highway. I'm not screwing around with this thing too much, because let's be real. You guys remember how this triggers me so much. Right. Okay. Now, that might look insane. Oh, God, it is insane. Because my other problem is... Actually, wait a minute. Don't we go into a 4-lane road here? Yes. Okay, right. Stay with me. Right, so... Let's just upgrade this stupid thing. Oh, the horror. It's fine. It's fine. Actually, this could work here as well if I... Let's make it more complicated. On you piece of crap. Right. Unbelievably, that seems to have sort of worked. Except this bit here, which is literally glitching out. Wait. No, there we go. Okay. It's nearly there. What? Not as horrible as the stupid bridge. That was 50 minutes of torment, but it was worth it. Look, because now we have this beautiful, beautiful bridge of beauty. Look at it. That was completely worth it, because look at what we have. That was 50 minutes well spent right here, because now we have this beauty. Okay, it's all good. Yeah, we have a beautiful bridge now. Unless, well, when I say beautiful bridge, it depends on like how OCD you are. Because if you are OCD, it could bother you that like this little piece of metal is like sticking through the brickwork here. That could bother you a lot. It could also bother you a lot that this thing here is not like super perfectly aligned and it's like a complete jaunty angle. So if that bothers you, then maybe just, you know, don't pay too much close detail. But like at a distance, it's all good. So what's that? It's perfect, except that it looks horrible. Yeah, exactly. Right, so what was I doing? Oh yeah, so back here at this junction. Yes, the horror junction. Junction of horror. Right, so now we've got 3 coming in on this 4-lane bit. I'm actually just thinking like I should probably, for the ease of my sanity, make this a single lane road, because if I do not, then the horror will be magnified. And that also means I have to do that all the way around. Right. Yeah, we need to make this single again, because if it's not, then it's just going to be a nightmare. Right, anyway, and then that gets to my point, my original point, which was that we can just take this road, bang it down there like that. Sorted. That's literally it. Nothing else needs to happen, apart from maybe this needs to just do that a little bit or something. We're back to the nightmare here, look. Okay, actually, one other thing needs to happen. Which is that this needs to, much to my horror, drop off incrementally. Might look terrible, but if I don't do it... Oh, is it doing the same thing? I think it's almost doing the same thing. It's doing almost the same thing, but just not being quite as horrific. Do you know what? Screw it. It's just going to be a super dangerous off-ramp. Right. That could be a slightly contentious road right there, this bit. Might want to look right as you come around that corner. I'm sure it'll be fine. Road safety, it's all good. No problem. No real problem. We'll drop that off a little bit too. Slightly adverse camber there, it's alright. Anyway, no problem. Safety first. Okay, that's sorted out. What? Hi Negan, good evening to you guys. Hi guys, good evening as well. What's this? The day Luton is going to do something the easy way. I'll do something drastic. Yeah, it's all good. Anyway, now this is looking like a nice, simple junction system now here. It's all working flawlessly. Right, so now that's going to work just fine. Now the other issue that we have is this bit. So I need to... Did I just delete a farm? No, it's okay. Right, the other issue we have is this nonsense. So this obviously cannot be a turn left. This is the trouble when you use this on these kind of roads, is they want to be able to turn left, and we cannot allow that, obviously. This here is all fine. Now, do not sneeze for one. The next thing is traffic going over here. Now, I'm going to have that junction come off right here, like that. There we go. I'm going to have it do that because there is no way in hell I want to mess about with those two connecting together. Right? Remember, this was the whole point of this in the first place, was to have that there, in the, you know, so that traffic coming from the town could get off to the agriculture if they needed to. Right, now the only other thing I want to do is just make sure that this traffic doesn't do anything stupid, like trying to merge lanes at this point in time. So you see, this actually will make it real easy, because we can just connect up like that. And then when we get down to the next one, again, we don't want them changing lane at any point here to keep all the traffic nice and smooth. So we'll just connect these up. And then at this one right here, similarly, I want to keep this nice and simple. Don't want any stupid shenanigans. And I don't want any traffic kind of merging into itself, slowing things down. And then at this point in time, what we'll do is we'll just have it so that the traffic can move right from those lanes like that. And then at the next one down, we'll have it so that traffic from inside 2 lanes can move out. So we're just staggering how much traffic is changing lane. And then that should be fine, really. Again, this is all good, really, I think. Don't think need to change anything there. Same with this. Yeah, alright. Haven't made a save at any point so far. Let's hope we don't crash. So, end of the episode. Fingers crossed that we save. You guys let me down yet again. Please. Please. Oh, seriously, thank God. Okay. That's it. Will it work? Let's find out. It would be cruel of me to just move on to the next episode without having things work. So let's have a look. Is traffic working here? Yes, you can see, look, the traffic from the underpass was merging smoothly. See how they're not switching lanes, so they're not cutting each other off, and therefore this keeps this moving nice and slow. I don't know why this guy was slowing down. There's a bit of traffic slowing down right here, and that could be to do with changing lanes, so I might just tweak this one a little bit. This might need a little, but the other side is working. See, look, there's traffic coming on here, look. Because they know which lane to go in. See how that's just moving nice and smooth. We're not getting any kind of bottleneck trouble there. That's working just fine. Let's look up at here. The airport is open for business, but I doubt we'll have anybody going to it just yet. But the highway is working, and that's all good. That off-ramp doesn't quite look right to me. It's kind of a little bit kinked, so come back and look at that later. I actually quite like this layout. It doesn't look terrible. I think once I've got some nice bushes and trees and things around with that, I think it'll look a lot better. But it's all good. Then what about a submarine sub emote? Maybe, but I think honestly double thumbs up is like, it's like thank you. You know, it's like double thumbs up is pretty good straight out the gate. See an orange? Yes, save. Oh, that's what we need. We need a save emote. Done. We need a save emote. Everyone's been talking about this for ages. Just need a save emote. Done. We've been talking about it for ages. That's what I'll change the blood up for. Save emote. Right, looting car parks. Well, I will do car parks once there is people there to make car parks for, because Skylines works in a weird way where people kind of just get to a building and then jump out of their car and it you know, vanishes. So it's not super necessary at this point in time. Now let's have a little look back here at the junction, and you guys can see, look, this is all working just fine. In fact, we've got some customers headed out of town. I still hate this right here. I wish I could just do what I'm about to do right here, and just even that makes a difference, because it just extends that length there a little bit, and it just sort of makes it look somehow semi more plausible. Same as if we do it right there as well. It just doesn't look quite as severe as it did before, but now I'm stuck with this triggeringly annoying bit of junction, which, as you can see, that's a bit better. Yeah, it's not, it's a little bit too close to that other junction. Right. Frames, come back to me. Right, I just want to... also, by the way, actually, before I get off of here, let's just... there should be a load of props here, look. Yep, there we go. We'll just get rid of them. I might just prop in on this section right here. Barrier. Might just get a barrier in here, guys, because... we'll just have this like so, and then we'll just have a little pipe barrier. Prop and tree anarchy on, by the way. Remember, that's your responsibility, stream. If I say prop and tree anarchy on, you have to remind me to turn it off if I haven't turned it off. I don't make any stupid mistakes. There we go. Right, so we'll just get the barrier coming down here. About there. Perfect. Then we'll just have a single one on the other end, right here. Now, if I wanted, I could run it all the way down. But I don't think it's necessary because we've already got a bit of concrete sort of spacing between those two things. There we go. Beautiful. Not quite perfect. Good enough. Open tree anarchy is off. Okay, great. So look, there we are. Look, so we've got our barrier between the two roads now, so that kind of looks better. That's what we had before. Let's just check the lanes on this one. Yeah, so look, there's no lane set up on here, and I'm going to do that because I think often when you see this traffic weirdly slowing down, it's because there's one car is want to change lane or something stupid. I think if we dictate to them, it also means if you dictate that they need to stay in lane, the only thing I might do here is just have people be able to go in a lane in those two middle lanes, that's all. Actually, I suppose, and then... Oh. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so then, yeah, now we need to do this next one, which is a little more complicated. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm just telling them to stay in lane. Okay, so they just need to stay in lane. And also, do you know what? Because we now have a secondary off-ramp here, this should really be... This section here should actually be 4 lane 2, because if it's not, then I can't... If it's not, then I can't make it so that... Yeah, we just need to actually push this out a little bit. Yeah, so this is basically the off-ramp here for the farming area. And basically... Well, for one thing, I hate it. To the point where I'm actually going to change this up quite a bit. Okay. Has to connect there, annoyingly. Just like, it needs to... It's so annoying. It needs to be more flowing coming off of there. What I might do is just push this back a little. That's fine. A little bit better. Anyway, that was necessary though because it'll be to do with the cars and what lane they get into. Right. Oh, for God's sake. Of course. Of course. Every time, if you don't know this, right, every time you move the road a tiny little bit, it freaks out the props that you place. So now I have to do that again. And you can't get it back easily. It's a pain in the ass, so it's just not worth it. Okay, so look, let's... Right, here we go. So look, this is the one we're on here. So we want to connect this up. See, this is why I'm doing this, because basically you want these to all stay in lane at this point. And if you're turning off to the right, that's fine. But you may also be then turning off to the right on the next junction there. So you see, basically, if you stay on that inside lane, you're either going to turn off there or there. But you're basically turning off on one of both. And then what we want to do is just make this go up here. Like that. And then they can do whatever they want. That should just make that a bit smoother and hopefully make them do the right thing. What's that, Warner? I know that I play Armour and the Battlefield and Battlefront are not very good, but considering your channel is big because of them... Actually, my channel didn't get big because of Battlefield. My channel got sort of big because of Battlefield and then mainly majoritively big because of Armour. Little Shaken, I haven't done a video on Name of the Tsar. Well, you know, I mean, what do you want? I don't play that game. The biggest issue with Battlefield is not... The biggest issue with Battlefield is not the content of the game, it's the players of the game. That's the biggest issue. So they can add whatever they want, but it doesn't actually alter the core problem, which is the people playing the game. So you can add the most, you know, at this point in time, you can add all the shiny things and the biggest change-ups. It doesn't change a thing, because 90% of people in that game don't know what they're doing in terms of, like, working together and all this. It just... No, I'm just not on board with it anymore at this point. I did say I might have a look at it. The other thing is my audience for YouTube don't want to watch Battlefield. If I post a Battlefield video, it'll get like 2,000 views. People don't want to watch Battlefield on my YouTube channel. The only reason I might make a video is if I want to talk about things in a bigger scheme of it. But I won't talk about it just for the sake of it, you know. Right, anyway, so let's back to this. Let's bring that up a little bit. Okay, so let's just see how this is working now. It'll take a minute or two for things to clear through. Because as I say, whenever you make a change... Right, there we go, look. So now straight away, you can see that's flowing real smooth. Because I'm dictating to the traffic, like, you've got to stay in lane. Whenever you have, like, a complicated junction section, it's better to dictate to them, stay in lane. Because then it means that, you know, we know by now the way that the traffic works is that it figures out ahead of time, like a sat-nav, where it wants to go. So if you tell them, like, at this point in time, you have to stay in lane, it will calculate that it needs to change lane earlier, and then that means you don't get people cutting each other up all the time, which slows the traffic down. So it's much better to set it like that, and then you can see, apart from this guy right here, I still see this sometimes, and I don't know what causes it. It's probably to do with some weird way that I've, like, connected and stretched the road. Yeah, look, see, like this. It may be to do with the rule that tells the cars not to enter the junction if there's other cars in it. So I actually might just turn that on. That basically says don't enter this junction space if there are other cars on there. So that might clear that up, I expect. Because I think because this is like the end of a road connecting to a highway, they're treating it as a junction. So if there was another vehicle hasn't got off of that junction in front of them, they slow down and stop, and then they have to start moving again. And I think you can see that that's fixed that up straight away. So that's what was, I think, causing that issue. Right, let's just put the barrier in, and then we're done. Barrier. Right. Prop and tree anarchy on. Actually, I'm going to do it from here, because... Right, there we go. And a single. Right. Beautiful. Okay, and we are sorted. There we go, guys. Right. Complicated junction complete. And working as well. If we speed things up a little bit, look, you can see. Flowing beautifully. I'm very happy. Yeah, there we go. Try and get a view which doesn't annihilate my frame rate. One thing that's bothering me is that little road down there, look. It's not the end of the world. This one right here, I could do with that being a little bit straighter. He says, not trying to freak out about OCD-ness. Like, just like that. Not much, just a little bit straighter, that's all. Let's have a look at the airport and see whether anything is happening. Got waste disposal issues. Right. So yeah, looks like right now things are working just fine, but we don't have a lot of traffic here right now. I think the core principle of it seems to be working just fine there, look. The traffic coming on, going around, off he goes on this thing. Very limited traffic here right now. But as we progress, you can see there's quite a lot of traffic coming in on the road here though, look. Quite a lot of traffic. And the reason I don't want streetlights everywhere is, you see, and I actually don't even know why they bothered to go all the way along here on the highway, is it ends up like this. By the way, I don't know how much more of this map my computer can deal with, because it's like, actually I'll tell you something that's not helping is that. Also, prop and tree anarchy still on. What's this? Can you make the subway station? Yeah, we'll do that next time. Come back, frames. Come back. Okay. Also, bear in mind, guys, the frames would be better if recall that there's that mod which I've got running, which is to do with prop view distance, and that kind of I discovered that with the prop view distance mod, even if you turn the settings way down, it still annihilates the frames. And the worst part was that when I looked at this later, you can't change it up. Once you've started the playthrough. So I was like, okay. So next playthrough, I want to try and come up with a mod set which doesn't annihilate the frame rate as we kind of progress, but that could be too big of a challenge. I have some ideas anyway. Suleiman subbed for 5 in a row. Suleiman, welcome back on board. Don't know what to write. Well, you did because you wrote it. And there you go. Everything else works. It seems to be working just fine. Stations are still very busy, look. As always, the city stations. Very busy, plenty of people. The art museum hasn't burned down for a 6th time now. Hopefully the spate of arson has ended over there. 6 times, no, 5 times that thing's burned down now. University looking very busy. I actually added another mod in for the university, guys. I'll show you that later. I think it's like the psychology department or something, so might make space for that across the road here or something like this. The city is all looking good, as it always does. Looking very city-like and busy. I'll just before I finish this episode, we'll just have a little look at a few kind of little viewpoints around here for people that haven't seen them before. We got the high school, cycle lanes through the whole city. Got the slightly residential suburban area out here. The God, frames, please come back. This is the Disaster and General Infrastructure Government Department of the city. Nice little square here with fruit and things. The life of the party, the Big L. Donutville and Clubland here, look. Which, there's some little rooftop terrace bars and stuff going on there in the city. That's all good. What? Expand the city, you have a lot of demands. We just spent an entire episode building the airport, dude. Relax. Calm down. Anyway, we've got a whole town where we can put stuff in. There's many things to go down. Many things to do. Right, anyway, we'll come back next episode, guys, and we'll continue on sort of with the expansions. We will... Oh, hello, look. Flights are actually landing, guys. We should actually look at... Like, I just cut up that other aircraft. They're landing just fine. Air Canada. Let's see how relaxed Air Canada take off. Go to the end of the runway, look. Shame because we can't really see because of night time. Easy like a Sunday morning. Fantastic. It's all working. So next time we're going to do Metro. Now let's have a look at the road system here. It seems to be all working. Make sure it's working smooth. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. They're using it, no problem at all. My concern, though, is that, again, they're using that inside lane. You know, really, this should be a 3-lane road to connect to that. Right, last thing before I finish this episode. This should really be a 3-lane road right here. And then, do you know what? For the sake of... Just because I want the traffic to basically stay in lane, you see. It can be 2-lane coming in, that's fine. But 3-lane coming out. Now this is an issue right here, and this is where you do start to have to dictate. This is where we might be better off with like a 3-lane road. Because now this is why I was saying before about trying to design these things to work. See, if we were to do a 3-lane road, or the alternative is that this goes underneath and, like I said, connects up over here, because all this traffic will be coming out of the airport. The other issue you have, so there's a few things, I think we might actually look at this next time. There's a few things which is basically any traffic coming in, all right, over here, what it wants to do is get off on that 1-lane road right there. Do you know what? Maybe we don't even need an internal roundabout. We'll look at it next time. I've got an idea. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next episode of Skylines.